Welcome. Let's get started using the DOM to add HTML elements, and we will use the design view here to add text to our class landing page. So as the sketch showed in the instructions, we are going to have a heading here that is going to be your name. So just here, and where it says the content for ID wrapper goes here, we're going to just type our first name, last initial in the design view. Looks very much like a word editor. It looks very much like a word editor. We're going to right click on it and change the formatting to be a heading 1. When I press enter in design view, I always get a paragraph. In this next paragraph I just created, I'm going to put our course. So that's ABT 294, website design and maintenance. I'm going to turn that into a heading 2 by right clicking again, changing the formatting to a heading 2. I'm going to add one more heading 2 below, pressing enter again, and that is the semester and the year that you are currently studying in. As you can see, adding text in the design view is very easy. And we are going to add a paragraph below here with your instructor details. So your instructor is Julia Graf. Select that text there. You can use your cursor or Control Shift, as I like to do. And then we're going to enable the Properties window. So under Window Properties, so you have the text selected, Julia Graf, and then in the properties at the bottom, we're going to create an email link that starts with mail to : and my email address is gravj@online.promotion.ca. Press enter to commit that link, which will launch an email client when clicked on. We're going to move on to adding structural HTML elements. So we put all of this content inside the wrapper, but in fact it was intended to be in the header. If I go to the DOM tool under Window DOM, I can see really clearly the structure of my web page. So the header needs to be the first structural element in. To make that happen, we pick it up and put it right on top, and now it's inside. We're going to do the same for all of these other structural HTML elements, selecting them using Shift and picking them up and dragging and dropping them so they are nested inside the header. Now in the DOM, I'm going to minimize the header. We're going to make sure we have structural HTML elements always wrapping around our text so that we can style it in different ways, making it into columns as needed using Flexbox or the grid. After the header, I'm going to add the main HTML element. This is a reserved word in HTML, very similar to a div, only it's semantic, meaning it has a name with purpose. The main area of a web page should be the main content area. And that's where you're going to add your links for your project work, your class activities, and your lab work. Finally, I'm going to insert a footer, which will have some links out to other web pages. So in the main, we're going to have 3 different sections. These are going to be using the Flexbox so that we can style them a little bit differently. On mobile and desktop. So instead of insert after, I'm going to insert a child of main to nest the element inside the main. And that is going to be a section. Inside the section, I'm going to insert an unordered list. So insert child again, and the main parent of the unordered list is UL. And with that UL, when you enter it in the DOM, comes a list item by default. So that's really super useful. I'm going to now duplicate this section 2 more times. I'm going to do this so I have a section for my activities, for my lab work, and then for my project work. So right click here, duplicate, showing you that it's duplicating not only the section, but also the unordered list, and then duplicate again. Let's go back to our design view and add some text again in this page. So I'm just going to minimize my DOM and put it over here on the right. And now I'm looking through my design and my code view, see all of the placeholder text we had added. We're done adding text to the header, so I'm going to delete this placeholder text for the content for the new header. And inside that first section, you can see I'm doing this in code view to make sure it's in the right place. I'm going to type activities. When I type plain text in the code view, you'll notice it will show up in design view. And now I can format it using the interface. This is going to be a heading 2. I'm going to clean up my code a bit here, make sure the start and end tag are on the same line. And then I'm going to delete that extra placeholder text. In the second section, I'm going to do the same thing. This is our lab work. And I'm going to style that as a heading 2. Deleting the placeholder text. And finally, the last section is going to be project work. And we will format that as well to a heading 2. As you continue on in this assignment, you'll be adding links for all these bullets, as well as styling this page so that it looks more like the sketch provided.